Premier League clubs spent a record £1.47 billion during the summer transfer window, but how much did your club spend? The total expenditure surpassed last summer's previous record, when the £1 billion threshold was smashed for the first time, by almost £300 million. Manchester City splashed the most cash this summer, with an outlay of £217.3 million, primarily on defensive signings: Kyle Walker £50 million, Benjamin Mendy £49.2 million, Danilo £26.9 million, and goalkeeper Ederson £34.7 million, in addition to midfielders Bernardo Silva £43 million and Douglas Luiz £10 million. Manchester City spent £50 million to sign Kyle Walker from Tottenham. Chelsea overtook Manchester United as the next biggest spenders on deadline day, with last-minute signings. David Zappa costed £23 million and Danny Drinkwater £35 million, joining fellow summer acquisitions Antonio Rudiger £34 million, Timu Bakayoko £40 million and Alvaro Morata £70 million, to total £202 million. United spent £169.5 million on blockbuster signings: Romelu Lukaku £90 million, Nemanja Matic £40 million and Victor Lindelof £39.5 million, while Jose Mourinho also resigns Zlatan Ibrahimovic on a free transfer. Other spendthrift clubs included Everton £152.9 million, Liverpool £89.5 million and Tottenham £61.4 million. In contrast, Stoke spent the least on new acquisitions, with just a £25 million outlay, the money going on defender Kevin Wimmer £18 million from Spurs and making Bruno Martins Indy £7 million from Porto a permanent member of Mark Hughes' squad. Lukaku's switch from Everton to United was the most expensive Premier League deal during the window, followed by Morata, Arsenal's Alexandre Lacazette £52.7 million and City fullbacks Walker and Mendy. A remarkable 12 clubs set respective transfer fee records, including Arsenal, Bournemouth, Brighton, Burnley, Chelsea, Everton, Huddersfield, Liverpool, Southampton, Tottenham, Watford and West Ham. Cash from sales. Despite being among the big spenders this season, Everton received the most income from player sales, with £109.75 million, primarily from Lukaku's move to Manchester United. The Toffees also offloaded Gerard Deulofeu to Barcelona for £10.5 million, Tom Cleverley to Watford for £8 million and Gareth Barry switched to West Brom for £1 million. Chelsea raked in £109 million from player departures, including Matic £40 million, Nathan Ake £20 million, Joan Cuadrado £17 million, Asmir Begovic £10 million, Bertrand Traoré £8.8 million, Nathaniel Chalobah £7 million and Christian Atsu £6.2 million. Manchester City received £83.24 million, offloading Kelechi Iheanacho £25 million, Wilfried Bony £12 million, Ian Ezonal £12 million, Aaron Moy £10 million, Nolito £7.9 million, Fernando £5.64 million and Alexander Kolarov £4.5 million, but the sales failed to mitigate the league-topping spending spree. Aaron Moy joined Huddersfield Town from Manchester City. Other clubs that received above-average funds from selling players included Arsenal £70.5 million, Tottenham £68 million, Swansea £59 million and Burnley £48.5 million. Conversely, Bournemouth, Brighton and Crystal Palace did not receive one penny from player sales, while West Brom only collected £2 million, followed by Huddersfield £5.4 million and Watford £5.8 million. Net spend. Manchester United recorded the biggest net spend, dipping into the club's coffers for £160.5 million after replenishing only £9 million from player sales. Neighbours City were £134.06 million in the red this summer, followed by Chelsea £93 million, Watford £51.7 million, Liverpool £46.5 million and Everton £43.15 million. Only 5 clubs registered net profit from transfer dealings, led by Swansea with £19.5 million in the black. Interestingly, North London rivals Arsenal and Tottenham were both among those clubs making more from player sales than they spent on new players. Romelu Lukaku cost Manchester United £90 million. The Gunners made a net profit of £17.8 million, with the sales of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain £40 million, Wojciech Szczęsny £13.5 million, Gabriel £10 million and Kieran Gibbs £7 million, offsetting the £52.7 million coup of Lacazette in July. Spurs collected £50 million for Walker and £18 million for Wimmer before splashing almost all those profits on Davinson Sanchez for £38.4 million and Serge Aurier for £23 million, while Stoke £11 million and Burnley £9 million also made profit. Number of signings: Everton, Watford and newly promoted duo Huddersfield and Brighton made more signings than any of the other clubs, each adding 13 new players to the ranks, while the Terriers also completed a league-high 3 loan deals. In contrast, Arsenal were the least active Premier League club, only signing Lacazette and Sead Kolasinac on a free transfer in early July, followed by Manchester United, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth and Southampton, 4 signings each. Number of departures and terms of outgoings: Chelsea offloaded the equivalent of 4 teams, with 43 players leaving Stamford Bridge, of which 29 have sought experience elsewhere on loan. Manchester City 36 departures, Everton 28, Swansea 24, Arsenal 22, Burnley, Liverpool both 21 and Newcastle 20 also parted company with players in abundance, on a temporary or permanent basis. Southampton and Manchester United offloaded the fewest players, each parting company with 12 players over the summer, followed by Watford 13 players, Bournemouth, Brighton and Leicester 14 each.